Howdy old tankers and welcome back. Right, so T29 diary last episode. So I've obviously done it, told you last time I'd done it, and yeah. But same as Comet Diary, the last game I played to pick up the third MoE was pretty poo. So I'm not showing it to you. This is just my favourite game from doing the diary. It kind of shows you what you can do with T29. This is a tier 9 game, although you can't really call it a tier 9 game. There's one tier 9 per team. It's quite a lot of tier 8s and a few tier 7s, so yeah. I know a lot of you are interested in how you should sort of act when you're bottom tier and what you should be doing. Well, T29 is a funny tank because the bottom half is most definitely a tier 7 tank. But the top half is kind of a mixture of a tier 9 turret with a tier 8 sort of spec gun. So it's kind of sort of one of those tanks where, yeah, it's a tier 7 tank in the majority of situations, but in a game like this, in certain sort of locations on the map, you don't have to worry. Like this, T34 2 there, was it 3? T34 2 or 3? Who cares? One number different. He's getting really confident because I'm just a tier 7. And there he goes, he dies for it. Start the game. Tier 8 tank done. Anyway, so I'm just holding this corner. If you look at the team lists at the top, there's no artillery. I would definitely not be doing this if there was an SPG on the enemy team. This is the very first place they will aim. Yeah, so definitely not. But this little location here, you can keep the T29 almost hull down, and because I've got decent view range with the coated optics, we'll talk about that in the garage in a bit, I can spot across, get some damage done at the start of the game. So I've got a couple of damaging tickets, a few spotted target tickets, and a kill already. So, what am I going to do now? Well, could motor on round to the right, but it looks like we're going to lose that part of the map. So what I'm going to do is exploit my gun depression in the middle of the map. I've taken a bit of a risk and it seems like it's going to pay off, but that Sturmill there could have quite easily took off a third of my hit points in one shot, but he decided to back off, so it's time to pressure him. I'm kind of, yeah, you can see me looking off to the left. If they've got any campers up on that hill, this move will not work. I'm spotted, what is it? Oh, it's tanks to the left. Back of the bridge road. T26E4, super pushing. Not so super from behind. Another one in. This gun is not horrendously accurate, but for mid-range shots like this it's fine. And standard pen is fine. Here we go, 3 straight hits in a row. He is almost done, and he is backing off. He's now looking at me. I take a hit there, exposing a bit too much hull, but he's reversing towards me, giving me easy shots. Bang! What an umpty! Anyway, suits me. Right, so where's that Sturmill? He had the ideal opportunity there to come and abuse me whilst I was looking the other way. There he is. And I take another hit, expose a little bit too much hull. Sturmill has great gun depression. But he's letting me get my reloads in, so it's fine. I just need to be a little bit more conscious about hiding my hull. Down to less than half health. So although I'm doing okay, it could have gone better. Right, so I'm hold down. Take one to the track. Yeah, that was close. He's fired. He bounces off my side armour. There we go, bingo. Sturmill killed. All of his health done. I know I can see on the map, I think I've got someone chasing me. He's coming around the hill, need to get away. Right, so now I turn. I'm in a little bit of cover here. I'm a little bit hull down, but this IS has a lot of health. A lot more health than me. So come up, get one through. Didn't get the tracking shot, so he's on his way. If he wants to jump off, that's fine, because hopefully I can get the face hug. Boom, team take him out. Could have done it myself there. Was not a particularly high priority. Anyway, so there we go. We exploited the middle of the map there. Enemy's team didn't invest well, they had that Stirrer Mill there, but he didn't do a particularly good job of stopping me from coming through. We took the entirety of a Super Pershing for all of his health from behind. Then we took the whole of the Stirrer Mill's health and quite a few shots in between. So there we go. One enemy left, and surprise surprise, it's the enemy C-75. All of these guys are just lined up in front of him, taking it in turns to get their asses spanked. Right, so now load up a premium round. That is an E-75. Here he goes, kills another one of our guys. That would be one epic Colabanos medal, wouldn't it? There he is, got his turret to the side. Bang. Just needs one more. Can I get the kill? Well, I could have done if the bloody KV-4 didn't drive straight in front of me, park, and take the kill shot. What an absolute arsehole. Anyway. So there we go, wasn't running premium because I was just doing the diary, and would have been a nice amount of experience in silver. High caliber, master ace tanking, still at 2 barrel marks, but like I said, this was just my favourite game from the T29 diary. Really put to good use there what the T29 is about. It doesn't really matter what tier game you are in, as long as you can keep the hull hidden. You can do some crazy stuff with this tank. It's one of the better tanks in the game, tier for tier. Well, there we go guys, hope you enjoyed my favourite game from the diary. Now into the garage to see my barrel marks and a bit of a setup guide. Right, so here it is, tankers, a T29 with my 3 MoE on the gun barrel. Looking pretty, 3 nice big white stars. So as I've said before, this was by far the easiest of the diaries to do. The T29 is a brilliant tank, but it's one of the worst played tanks in the game in general. There are a few people knocking about who know how to use it properly, and hopefully I've demonstrated in some gameplay, both in this episode and the one before, about how the T29 should be played. Anyway, so there we go, 3 MoE. Just have a quick look at my stats, and then we'll talk about my setup. So I played a lot of battles in this tank. I've had it for a very long time. Didn't play it for a long time though. And the start of this diary, I did have a bit of a percentage to start from. But not a huge amount, and it didn't take very long to get to 95% whatsoever. A few tough games in between where I didn't do much, but the majority of the games I was averaging 3,000 damage at least, plus some assist points, and we got up there really quickly. Anyway, so setup. Let's have a look at my crew skills first. Just noticed one error. I'll talk about that in a second. So 6th sense is a must on most tanks. Brothers in Arms is actually pretty good on this tank because it's one of the longer reloads, because it has a 105mm cannon. The reload's quite long, so anything you can do to bring that up is a good idea, and obviously it'll help with all your other major crew skills as well. Repairs, very good idea on a heavy tank. That would ideally complement track mechanic on this tank as well, but I don't have that. And a mistake I've just seen, which I should have noticed before, I've got firefighting, which is a good idea, but that helps you once you're on fire, whereas, where is it? Preventative maintenance. That reduces your chances of getting set on fire in the first place. So, I think preventative maintenance would be better than firefighting, because if you've got a fire extinguisher or premium fire extinguisher, you're going to put that fire out anyway. This will save you a little bit on your damage tickets before you hit the button, but preventative maintenance might stop you getting set on fire in the first place. And the T29 does burn nicely. It's quite a nice tank to see when you're in something like a light tank with a high rate of fire gun, because there's a very good chance of setting them on fire. Anyway, snapshot, that's a good one to help with your accuracy during turret movement, because this thing likes to be hull down. With snapshot and your other crew skills and stuff like that, brothers in arms, you can swing your turret around quite a lot, and the bloom's not actually that bad, and especially if you run the vert stabs as well. Training, off-road driving at the minute, this thing, it's not slow, but it's quite a big lumbering tank, and especially on medium and soft ground it does struggle to get around, so that's also a good idea. But like I said as well though, track mechanic would be a very good one on this tank. Yes, you might want to mix and match those around, but I found these worked pretty well. Right, onto the equipment then. No, let's do supplies first. This tank holds a lot of ammunition. A very lot. Very lot? That's not good English either. I really need to work on my English. I carry 43 standard. The penetration is pretty good for a tier 7. And 43 will last you a long time. I do carry 15 premium, but doing the whole diary, I think I used less than 10 in the whole diary, but you will need these for tier 9 games. But I didn't get in a lot of tier 9 games in the T29, which was nice. And carry a few high explosive, because it's a 105mm gun at tier 7, so the high explosive can be quite useful for soft skin targets and cap resets. Something like the Comet at tier 7 with its puny little gun, a high explosive round against somebody who's trying to cap may do 0 damage, but a 105 high explosive round you might get away with doing some damage and resetting the cap, so I do carry a couple of those, plus the round count in this tank is huge, so it's not a particular drama with this tank. Anyway, consumables, stock consumables for me, I didn't ditch the fire extinguisher for cola in this tank because, like I said, you get set on fire quite a lot in this thing, even if you are hull down, because artillery can set you on fire as well, and they do it quite often. So having a fire extinguisher is quite handy in this tank. Anyway, last bit then, equipment. The standard heavy tank equipment works well on this tank. Rammer, ventilation, and vert stabs. That is brilliant on this tank, but for doing a diary, I've found ditching the vert stabs for coated optics allows you to spot your own targets, which means you're more self-dependent or independent, and also those targets that you've spotted, if your friendly team hit them, you pick up nice juicy assist points, which count towards your barrel marks as well, so you get a little bit of benefit from there. And if you are hull down, the vert stabs is not so important, because you can just sit there and absorb all the damage with the ridiculous turret on this tank. And that is it. Right, there we go fellas, T29 diary done, 3 MoEs on the tank. Time to choose what I do next. I'll put something in the video description of the choices, and whatever gets voted up the most I will do next. It's not going to be tier 7. Well, I might chuck some tier 7s in, but it's going to be lots of different tiers to choose from. Anyway, there we go fellas, hope you enjoyed the diary. I hope what I've shown you has helped you to play the T29 a little bit better if you're one of the less experienced viewers on the channel. And if you're not, I hope you just enjoyed watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.